Hey Fernando, did you know that the universe may actually be a multiverse, but it's not like we have to tweak one variable at a time in order to prove that? And see, I've just encapsulated everything I read. And that's the main point of the passage. Although the universe seems finely tuned, there may be more sets of physical laws that would be compatible with life than commonly thought. There is the possibility of a multiverse, but it doesn't have to be defined by the fine-tuned tweaking. We can move more than one variable at a time. For question 7, when the author is saying that the scientists play the movie, and I'm in line 35, it's finely tuned, and they believe that by the method of tweaking one variable while leaving all the others unaltered. And then they, quote unquote, play the movie. They do their calculations, what if scenarios, or computer simulations to see what happens. What are we doing? We are following the theoretical chain of events to its conclusion. We are plugging in the variables to see what happens. For question 8, those cosmologists in the third paragraph, answer choice D we know is true. There are enough universes to make it probable that life exists in at least one of them, because the author just says it. In line 25, given the sheer number of possibilities, nature would have had a good chance to get the right set of laws at least once. For question 9, what would the author agree with? And I will say that we get our support for answer choice D from line 39-ish. There's no reason to tweak just one parameter at a time. That is too limited. Its methodology results in an overly restricted set of outcomes. Question 10, what's the function, the purpose of that last paragraph? And that last paragraph, it asks the question, right? Do our findings call the concept of the multiverse into question? No. I know what you were thinking. You were thinking they did, but no, the answer is no. They don't call the multiverse into question. And when the passage says we're discussing the implications, that's the kind of open-ended question that we mean to answer. What is the implication of this? What is its meaning? What happens next? Does it call the multiverse into question? No, it doesn't. That is a discussion of the implications. And that's why answer choice C is right. For question 11, the author's attitude to the multiverse hypothesis. Does our work call the multiverse into question? No, not necessarily. And notice the language there. Not necessarily. I don't think this is necessarily the case. That's an author just going right down the middle, right? It's not that the multiverse can't exist, for sure. Like, our work does not necessarily call that into question. And it's also not that the multiverse must exist. I mean, I have reasons that I believe the multiverse may exist. And that sounds a lot more like open-mindedness than, say, advocacy. If you want to advocate an idea, you don't say, this idea is not necessarily false. That's not advocacy. That's open-mindedness. All right, finally, question 12. We want to apply the story of the multiverse as it's presented within the passage to the story of the superhero as it's presented in the passage. I guess it's not a superhero, it's just a hero. So the story of the multiverse from the passage is that you've got this huge number of possibilities, so at least one of them is going to get it right. Let's do the same thing with heroes. You got a big number of heroes, so at least one of them is going to save the day, and that's your answer choice B. And that's this second passage. So here's the deal with these free videos. They're intended to serve a very narrow purpose. For those times when you're wondering, why is that the right answer? You can just come here for a complete library and find out why it was the right answer. And I hope that you'll find that it was very instructive. Of course, the other part of the deal is that since LSAC publishes all of their tests along with test keys, that means that there's no barrier to entry for test prep. And you can hear the air quotes, I hope. Anybody can, and lots of people have, set up shop and call themselves test prep companies. And they've got the questions, they've got the answer keys, and they just try to explain to you why the right answer is right. and then they charge you money for it? That is wrong. I want to put a stop to it. I want to sweep the legs right out from under them. It is bad for you. It's bad for me too. So if you want to know what the right answer is and why the right answer is right, I want you to be able to come here and find it out for free without paying anybody for it. That's very different from what I do in the paid course. What I think has value about what I do is that I can tell you ahead of time what every question wants from you, what to expect from the right answer, how to formulate a right answer, and then how you can expect wrong answers to sound, so that you know before you ever open up a test book exactly what to expect. And all the practice videos that are part of the paid course are just me putting that theory into practice. It's just the rubber meeting the road. In other words, I'm going to show you, based on what we've done before, how we're going to react when it comes up next time. And that bit, knowing what to do the next time you see something, that I think is worth paying for. And if you agree, I'd love to have you in the course. And if not, that's fine too. Don't pay anybody to explain why right answers are right. Just watch these for free. Enjoy.